Hi, it's Rachel with Cedar Doodles, and today I want to cover one of my most passionate topics. Hi, it's Rachel with Cedar Doodles, and today I want to cover one of my most passionate topics. That is, more than one temperament test is necessary to understand the kind of puppy that you're getting. Just like right here, Miss Cozy, she's going to help us tell the tale of why what we use in our program is so important. Here we are, we're looking at this litter of puppies. They're all pretty chill. And so we just say they're all chill, right? That's not the same as just saying that when you temperament test, whatever that little puppy scored at. So if you're like a 0 to 10 test and 10 being the best and 1 being the most shy and reserved, then that's what they are. But in our case, we've realized so much more is necessary than just one test. Honor our puppy and understanding who they really are. There's no such thing as a bad dog. When we're temperament testing, what we're looking for, this puppy's more social, treat motivated, toy motivated, we're here to help. And this is having a relationship with your breeder. This is why it matters. It's not just about having them send you updates and making sure that you get a puppy. It's understanding that your breeder understands each and every dog. And you can see these guys are super excited to see me. And we've been working on this great relationship, but I've also been watching them for quite a while. If you were to say, oh, I'd really love an outgoing dog that's more people-oriented, he's gonna stick with me, but they're confident, you may love the color of this one right here, but in reality, I would say if I were working with that and I felt like that's the kind of dog that I wanted to train, I'd go with Cider. He's the most outgoing, but if there's ever a dog when I call and say, hey, come back here, come see me, it's definitely him every single time. If you were going to say to me, you know, we're looking for a dog that's kind of reserved, a little bit more low key, not as high energy, then I would definitely tell you that it's not Cider. We need to go with sweet little Graham. He is absolutely adorable and he's more of a snuggle bug. So when I'm training him, I'm not going to have as many training needs as far as making sure he's running and doing all these high energy things because that's not his style. These are what we find out as we've been with them for quite a while. Up to this point, I've been with these guys almost 24/7 for the last 4 weeks. So does it mean that you can't get a certain dog if your breeder temperament tests them and says, oh, they're more outgoing or they're this or that? Well, you get to decide. It's your dog and your family. For example, let's look at these guys right here. Some people are really looking for a female. Some people are really looking for a male. In a different video, we'll cover what's best for you and why. The biggest thing that you have to remember, and this is very specific to our program, is that we have spent years finding the perfect parents so that our dogs have easy to train personalities. They love people, as you can see. They're very people oriented. They have a great size and they have a great coat. All of these things are working in your favor. Now, why the temperament test then, if they're all good dogs? Because some of us, just like him, some of us are more outgoing. And so some of us are going to have what we call more of a high drive. So our love language is going to be taking me out and getting toys and throwing me the ball. That's my love language. But say you're more reserved and laid back, you're going to be like Miss Maple here. Well, her love language may not be having the ball thrown. She may be treat motivated. Right here, Cozy is people motivated. She loves people. Can you guys say hi? They're all just happy to be here. So remember, you can have whatever dog you want. It's my job to help you find what you're looking for. That's the difference. I have such a high focus on quality, not quantity. You're not going to see a lot of puppies coming out of our program. We have a limited amount of litters. We do 4 or 5 times a year. This allows us to just have the best puppies. We feel like we owe that to you and our families. We don't want anyone to start off with a dog that's a headache. And it starts right here, right now, as we work with them individually, learning about them, helping to honor who they are and create the best teddy bears possible. All right, so what does our temperament testing look like? Well, I'm going to show you one aspect of that. So this is what we use our daily handling for. Some of you have heard of ENS and ENI, desensitization, all of these things. But what do those really mean? I'll show you right now. So it means How is your puppy going to be when you have your little nieces and nephews over? What if they're your own kids? What if they don't understand that you don't pull on a dog's ears and you never yank it by the tail? Don't pinch their feet, that would hurt them. Well, we've been doing these gentle exercises with them, touching their ears, touching their tail, touching their feet. So it's not a big deal. It's not a treat. We would rather teach them, I should say, to turn and get up and leave the situation than to be in the situation and turn and bite. So right here, I've got her. And as you can see, let's work on our back. Let's see what happens if we're in an uncomfortable position. Now that I'm encouraging anybody to do that to a dog, roll them on their back or put them in an uncomfortable position, but kids are around these dogs all the time. We want kids to be able to be safe with their dog. We want kids to have a good experience. And you can see, look how chill she is. Let's just pull out another random puppy. We're gonna touch her paws. Good. We're gonna touch her ears in case a kid were ever to do that. And we're gonna come in here, we're gonna touch her mouth. I'm gonna rub her teeth and I'm not ever looking for her to bite down on my hand. Now this is different than puppy teething. They can go through that shark phase and we're gonna help you get through that. This is more about what happens if some little family member that I love comes over and they pick up the puppy and their big arms just the way they can and hold them the best they can, but they're a little bit too rough. This is how we help them right here. And this is one of the parts of our temperament test to make sure that they're okay with what's happening. Good girl. This may be hard to believe, but there was a time that actually Maple hated being on her back. And if you touched her head, that wasn't her favorite thing. Can you even imagine if I would have given her a score back then of being able to tolerate touch? She wouldn't have passed. Not like she does now. That little bit of extra time working with her, more testing, basically engaging with them, watching them, helping them learn and grow in a good way. Look how wonderful she is. She sat there and was held like a baby. Not every dog can do that. But here, these small ways of working with them little by little make all the difference in the world. Takeaways, let me have these guys help you remember. Number one, more than one temperament test is needed. We need to be watching these guys over a timeline. We need to be watching them each day, each week, watching them hit these milestones and seeing if they're learning and growing like we feel that they should be before we give them one test to just determine everything for the rest of their life. They have the best personalities, and it's so important that we give them room to grow, develop, and two, some things are just learned experiences. Remember, with this sweet little girl, she didn't love to be on her back, but now you can see she's totally fine. What a great dog. Not every puppy has to love this in the beginning, but when they get to the point that they trust you, that says so much about them. Look at her. Hey, thanks for joining me. This is Rachel with Cedar Doodles, and thanks so much for stopping in, looking at our loving little luxury teddy bears, and deciding for yourself what kind of a fit would be best for you, your family, and your lifestyle. Thanks for stopping by and enjoying these little puppies with me today. And remember, luxury teddy bear golden doodles, that's our specialty.